What's up, sports bettors? I have 6 player props on Underdog Fantasy, so I figured I'd just make a quick video kind of discussing them. So I found all of them on the OddsJam screen, and the first one I'm on is Brad Marchand, over 2 shots on goal on Underdog Fantasy. So let's talk about it, right? Why I use this screen, why the screen is useful. I look at it all the time for player props in the NFL, NHL, NBA, is it shows you where books have the line set at different levels. So you can imagine if every sports book had, let's say Luka's point total at 29.5 and FanDuel is at 24, we'd want to frickin' hammer that over. And we would notice that on the screen because these books are setting the line at different levels, right? So what you're going to notice here is, of course, 24 versus 29.5 and an NBA point total would be insane. But regardless, you get the point. What you'll notice right here is Brad Marchand. His line is 2 on Underdog. All the sports books have his line at 2.5. Now you may say, well, FanDuel has his under favored, right? They have the under at minus 140, right? It's been at minus 140 for 12 minutes. But some sports books like Barstool and BetRivers, they actually have the over favored. So the market is a little divided, right? DraftKings, FanDuel, Pinnacle, this is Pinnacle, just the OddsJam column is Pinnacle Sportsbook, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. They all have the under favored, but these sportsbooks have the over favored. But regardless, roughly, 2 to 2.5 is a big jump. We're not talking about in, college basketball point total, 140 versus 140 half. 2 versus 2.5 is a huge deal. If you bet his over, and you can see lines are on the move, like you could see kind of highlighted in red and green. An example. Hey, I apologize. The video cut out, the screen reloaded, so I just cut the video and I'm back. So an example of a play that we didn't do, as an example, because you may be like, well, why not take Crosby under 3 as well? Look at this. This time is all of the sportsbooks have the over juiced. Barstool has the over at minus 200. So some of these sportsbooks have the over for Crosby really, really favored, right? Barstool is saying it's a 2-1 favorite. 2-1 favorite is 66% of the time. 2/3 of the time, Crosby over 2.5 is going to cash. And granted, Barstool is a lot more bullish than Pinnacle, DraftKings, and FanDuel, but all of the books are kind of indicating to you minus 145 to minus 200. So sure, Underdog is half a goal higher, half a shot on goal higher, but all of the sports books, are pretty aligned that the over should be heavily juiced, right? Which is what you're going to notice. So when you're using the screen, you also have to consider that, like how juiced is the over and the under? Because these jumps, like you'll notice, right? Like 2.5 to 3.5 shots on goal is like a big jump. So what you need to consider when you're using the OddsJam screen is just like, okay, how juiced are these sports books? Even if the lines are set at different levels. So it's a little more complicated, right? But you're kind of looking at the market. And long story short, you're just using data to try to make better bets. I mean, here's another one that seems halfway decent, right? Elias Lindholm over 2. All the books have him 2.5. They don't really have the under heavily juiced. But hey, BetRivers has the under more heavily juiced. So maybe we skip on it for now, right? That's how you want to think as a sharp, profitable sports bettor. Now, the EV tool is obviously very different. What the EV tool will do is just compare lines set at the same levels. So like here's a great player prop on Prize Picks. Nikola Vukovic, over 1.5 made threes. All the books have his line at 1.5. There's no discrepancy in where the line is being set, 2 to 2.5. So you're comparing apples and apples. You're literally comparing the same asset. It's like the price of Bitcoin. You're just like comparing different prices for the exact same thing. This bet is always graded the same way. If he has 2 threes or more, the over wins. Otherwise, the under wins. So all these bets are the same. Whereas the screen, you're not comparing apples and apples. Betting over 2 is not the same as betting over 2.5. Because if you bet over 2 and you push, or we're going to push if he has exactly 2 shots on goal, right? With the EV tool, you're comparing prices. So what the EV tool is alerting us to here is like, hey, all the books have the line at, minus 130 to minus 154. FanDuel, Barstool are a little more bullish on Vukovic over 1.5 threes than the rest of the market. Pinnacle a little less so. But, prize picks, you can get minus 119 implied odds in a 5-pick or 6-pick flex, as you can see right here. So you always want to be playing flex plays. So maybe that's a play you want to go with. So first I wanted to call out, we did have a win yesterday, which you got to take the wins in stride. Let's go. But, unfortunately, this did not cash. So close with McDavid. But whatever. Here are the 2 plays I have for today. So Hedman over 2 shots on goal. Nico under 3. Pasternak to not score a goal. 250 to win 1.5K. And then I have another 3 right here. Jack Hughes lower. Marchand over. Kucherov over. Let me know any questions. Again, the goal is to teach you the strategy, help you guys win, help us win, beat the books. Let's make money.